Hello, folks. We're at about 7:02, depending what clock you're looking at. Everybody hear me?
Yes.
So who's doing the talking today? Some interesting things going on in the realm of Masterfast, as always. People trying to demean our work in every which way. It hasn't stopped since the beginning. When I started 2 years ago, approximately. Only going to keep going for the people with an agenda, that's for sure. It's no big deal. Everybody's level of intelligence is different. It doesn't mean people are better or worse than each other. It's just their level of understanding with the level of intelligence that we're in this realm. And what we're doing with Masterfast, very few can even grasp what it is. That's why I highly recommend people watch the Children's Kids Knowledge Seekers Workshop. I have to rewatch them again because it's so vast, the knowledge in plasma. It's infinite. It's as vast as the stars. And everybody, when they watch it, will grasp something different. And there's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. What we've done, with a little information and the little bit that I know, is be able to understand what happens with cooked juice. It's not rocket science, it's space technology, as I keep saying. And it works. We don't care what anybody says. We don't need anybody's authority. I don't need a white jacket. I don't need a piece of paper. We've been down those roads. Luciferic intellect will just keep you entrapped in this matter state, which is very limited. All the sciences, the chemistry, and they're looking through a window like this. So everything on the outside, they can't see. That's why chemistry is a fraud. If you're thinking and looking in chemistry in the body, the way it works, it's a fraud. We proved it with dry fasting. It's an acidic state. What does that have to do with health? What does alkaline and acid have to do with health? That's a very limited window they're looking at. They don't know what's happening on all the other side, which is where everything's happening. So, they're saying, oh, with cancer you have to go alkaline to get rid of cancer. It's all bullcrap. All bullcrap. We're putting ourselves in an acidic state if you're looking at chemistry, and we're healing at the very expanded level of it, with everybody in every shape, form, whatever you want to call their diseases that they name. Body balances itself out because on plasmatic state, everything is happening. Doesn't matter what's happening in the matter state, what we're looking at. That's the effect, the outcome. So you see acid, you see alkaline. It's a speck of what's happening. It has nothing to do with the reality of the matter. That's actually the functions of everything, the field interactions, and then the magic that's happening with all the other field interactions. They're all oblivious to all that. Can't see it. We don't really have instruments to measure to see it really, except for ice. You can see plasma and ice. I don't know if anybody was on the page today. The woman, what's her name again? Named Abeer Ad, Abeer Ad is her last name. She did an experiment from little things I was mentioning, and she was listening, and she was keen, and she did a little experiment. I don't know if you guys seen it. The glass of water she froze. I posted a glass of water from many years ago. I don't know if it was this week. I think it was earlier this week. I posted a glass of water frozen, and you can see a sphere inside it. It was a technology we were working on about 7-8 years ago. This little sticker, if you can see that, yeah, this little sticker. We didn't know it at the time what we were doing, but there's plasma fields coming out of here. It's just a sticker. We've tested this on athletes, on plants, on animals. I've seen little miracles happen just with a sticker, nothing else. A sticker, piece of plastic, whatever they make the decals from, and we've seen magic happen with that. If you put it on your water for a few seconds, you taste it before and after. There's definitely a difference. It's softer, more velvety, and it changes the bond angle. We did a lot of experiments on that. So a beer did an experiment. Since I've been teaching to get yourself a wooden spoon, an old wooden spoon, or any stick off a tree or whatever, and burn the end, and use it to massage your kidneys every day for sure, but also use it on all the acupressure points. I don't talk about anything that doesn't have sound intelligence behind it. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Everything that's in Masterfast is sound, has been put there for specific reasons, and it's vital that everything that I talk about is used for these reasons. It's not something I just came up with overnight. It's a lot of experience and you can say thought that went into all this. And I'm no genius, guys. I'm just like you guys. I can no, it's too noisy. I can just I just see things a little bit different than most people. I've been able to connect to common sense, which is not common anymore, because I can see when I'm talking to people, they just don't have that common sense. And it's not everybody's fault. We've been indoctrinated and brainwashed to not use our minds to be able to think and be creative. But I've had this from when I was young. I used to build things and create things, and that nobody else was able to do. And it wasn't rocket science. Simple, common sense things. Like I keep teaching, you need to learn to ask the proper questions, and the answers will come up right in front of your face. Because the answers are always hidden in plain sight. Always. Let me see if I can share the screen and show you guys. How do we do this? Share screen. How do we do it? Can you guys see my screen? Nod? Yeah? Okay. Can you see this on Facebook? Yeah? This is a beer's experiment. And she's wrote, "Are you seeing what I'm seeing?" And let me get a good shot here. Yes. I think you guys can see there's a sphere in there. It's a frozen glass of water. All she did was fill up 2 glasses of water. One she stirred with a plasma burnt stick. She said she did it clockwise, and the other one she didn't. And the one that she stirred formed the sphere. So I showed the same thing, but I did it with the sticker I showed you. Because when you're connecting to plasma, it doesn't matter. What's plasma? Plasma is one creation source where we all come from. We are plasma. Our soul is pure plasma essence. So once you connect to it, you can actually see it, see the field, see what it creates within ice. Because plasma is actually cold, but is not affected by temperature. So I had this idea in Italy to one of the teachers at Spaceship Institute, Giovanni, and I told him, I go, at that time I was doing my 12-day dry fast, and I was getting downloads of information. And I was talking to Giovanni. I go, you got to come into the water with me every day. Yeah. I go, there's a key in the cold. There's something with the cold. Next thing you know, he does an ice experiment, freezing, and they were able to see the fields. I go, I knew it. And you can see a lot of people post their fields from their plasma pens and so on and so forth. And you can see the way the fields flow from a plasma pen. Beautiful to look at it. Tom Sales, he's on our page. He's playing a lot with plasma. You can learn from him. And he's got some videos, and he posted quite a few. And I've shared some of his photos in the past on our page, but now he's on our page for a few weeks, and I'm glad he's there. So this is what you're seeing. The people that are thinking that the Earth is flat, I don't really buy that, because they have a lack of understanding. There's no flat lines in the universe. Everything has form. Plasma is not actually spherical, because we see it as a sphere inside the frozen ice. But if you look at if we're able to see our auric field, you'd see it moving, and it's interacting with other auric fields between all of us. Our fields are interacting. Doesn't matter where you are; they're interacting with each other in a figure eight of energy flow. So these fields are powerful. Now, most of you guys know what a durian looks like. If you look at the shape of a durian, how odd it is, and you see the spikes, think of that shape, but think of that shape always moving in form. Just, delicate, dancey flow, whatever you want to call it. And all where the little points are, there's all energy lines coming out of it from the top, the exit point going into the bottom entry point. And that's plasma. That's energy source. And the more towards the center you go, the more power it has. So this is what I talk about, opening up the plasma to allow it to gain its energy. And the only way you can do that is give. So when you give, the plasma gets stronger. And the more people take from the plasma, the more stronger it gets. So it's a win-win situation with plasma. It's always finding balance. But let's see some other shots here. This one here, you can see a bit. And you can see the other glass on this right, there's nothing in there. Only the one she stirred. Really, when you do these experiments, sometimes if you keep them close, you'll have the effect in both, because plasma is flowing. Is this frozen too? Yeah, they're both in the freezer. Left and right. Only one has the sphere. And then she did another one without stirring it, and nothing happened. So that's another thing. They were asking on the post. I asked, do you know why the one that wasn't stirred didn't form the sphere? And they said, no. Can you answer? I said, I'll answer on Zoom. So here we are. The reason, this is the ice that actually she pulled out of the glass after. The reason the one that she stirred formed this wonderful sphere. Anybody have a guess? All creation comes from, and everything you see comes from thought. First comes the thought, the intent, and the emotion. You are creator. By her putting the stick in and stirring it, she was the creator, because we are plasma. Your energy field interacts with the burnt part of the stick, because the burnt part of the stick is in higher order. from the burning process, going back to where it came from. That's higher order. This is where people have no clue what cooking does. Now we understand it. It puts it to higher order. Just, I've mentioned this before. Farmers, lots of farmers still today, in the fall, depending what country and everything, they burn their fields after harvest. People think it's for fertilizer. No. It's to re-energize the soil plasmatically. And it works. It works amazing. Let's go back to the page. How do we stop sharing? Stop share. I've never done this before. Okay. So, you see, a simple thing, just burning a stick. A piece of wood, piece of branch. You got plasma. How wonderful is creation? How wonderful. And we can tap into all these sources of creation at any time, just by thought, intent, and emotion. Done. You don't even need the stick. But we've been indoctrinated and brainwashed right from birth, even before birth, and our belief system is not at that level. We're going to be probably seeing that the younger children just take off with this technology because they're not brainwashed. The ones that are introduced to it, they have a private kids knowledge seeker workshop every Saturday morning. Ongoing, it just started again, and it's for any children who want to learn plasma science. So if you have children, get them in. They use all fiction names because of the severity of pedophile rings online to protect the children. Mir and Kesh, the founder of Kesh Foundation, cracked down one of the huge pedophile ring, not too long ago. And the guy was arrested, and then one of the main guys, it was a judge, he committed suicide, or they killed him, I don't remember. But Mr. Kesh was responsible for that takedown, and they're working on an even bigger one right now, behind the scenes. It's very severe issue around the world. These people that are doing this kind of stuff is there's nothing lower than a pedophile. There's nothing. A parasite has purpose. A pedophile doesn't. I don't have tolerance for that kind of stuff. But there's lots going on, guys. Lots going on. Getting back to the plasma. A simple burnt stick tool that we use. You can do all kinds of stuff. Today, in jiu-jitsu, doing some stuff, and I had my partner land his knee right on my toe. Didn't feel nice. So I had my pain pen with me. This is a pain pen I made in Italy. This is hers. I got one too. So I went right away to my pain pen, and you do it right on the pain. You just do it for a few minutes. So I have absolutely no more pain left. It's gone. It happened to me in Italy. I dropped a log on my toe, same toe. Grab the pain pen, and you can feel a field interaction when the pain is throbbing. And you only need to do a few minutes. If you do it right away, you can get rid of the pain very quickly. You can do it with a burnt stick, folks. And you can do it with somebody's finger if their intent and emotion is correct. They can do the same thing. So anytime there's anything with an injury, think back when you were a child. Cheers. Some wine. And you took a flip and hurt yourself or whatever. You cut yourself. Ran to your mother, and your mother kissed it. And it felt better right after. Because it did feel better. She interchanged her plasmatic energetic field to balance out the pain. It's that simple, folks. This is not fairy tale. And what's that field? The highest order of all. Plasma love, guys. Without plasma love, there's no creation. Isn't that a beautiful thing? It's amazing, the stuff that is coming out now. We're in a very, very interesting time to be alive. Very interesting with what's happening in the plasma world. And it's great to be a part of it. My understanding is very limited. There's people doing experiments left, right, and center in all categories of the plasma. It's infinite what you can do with plasma, infinite. I've just joined the Kesh Medical Private Teachings a couple weeks ago. It's only for doctors. And I asked to see if I can get in, and they allowed me in. And pretty interesting stuff in there. I don't have it on this computer. They shared a photo of a woman with breast cancer publicly. It's in one of the last video. And there was a big tumor. It was a massive tumor. And they were doing it. There's a doctor in South America who's using the Kesh spaceship technology, plasma field. What do they call that thing? Health unit. They call it the health unit. It's made from coils, all copper and nanomaterials and GaNs materials. And there's it's run on plasma batteries. So everything's plasmatic. It doesn't plug into anything. It's a very, very minute, low current is where the strong fields origin and creation come from. It's not high power. It's all low. Our body runs on very minute voltage. And look what we're doing. We're moving all this energy all the time. Not the high power stuff. The low, subtle energies are where the power comes from. Just like I suggest if you want to go barefoot walking, try it in the day with the sun up, and then try it at night. Energy fields are way stronger at night. You're going to get way more energy. So that's another homework assignment. Try daytime barefoot walking, then try night barefoot walking. See how you feel in difference in comparison. Where was I going to go with this? I'm thinking of 20 things at once. And that's my problem. I got ADD, I think. Attention deficit disorder. If I went to a doctor, they'd probably start putting me on Ritalin or whatever the hell they do. Plasma's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And just to think, you know, how many people are making fun of us drinking cooked juice? We salute them. We elevate their souls to balance, correctness, and peace. That's where their level of intelligence is at. They're not in a place to open their blinders up. They want to remain in the state they are. They don't want to even suggest looking at it or anything. They just close it down. I was there. Most of us were there. I was raw as law for, you know, many, many, many years, more than most. And I did the raw as law stuff. Very interesting. But when we're dealing with these energies, it don't matter that you can't see them. They're still there. And they're powerful. And you can tap into them through intent and emotion at any time. When you go to sleep at night and you wander, how are you going? How are you traveling? Intent and emotion. As soon as that intent and emotion is put into place, instantaneously you are wherever you decided to go. There's no time space. Time space is an illusion. And this is the power of plasma. That's why it works so fast. So this woman with breast cancer, that's where I was at. A huge, huge tumor. And they were doing the processing. We don't call it treatment or anything. We call it, it's process. It's a process, plasma processing. And she was doing the processing. All you do is stand inside this unit, half an hour a day. He had dogs with tumors that with the tumors shrank. Oh, I forgot to plug in my internet. Let me plug this in because the signal's not great. Sorry, guys. So yeah, you just you stand in this unit, and the fields are interacting with you. And because plasma is always seeking balance, if there's an imbalance in you, it's going to take from you what you don't need and give you what you need. That's all plasma does. Just continuously interacts until there's a balance. So she was processed and everything in this tumor. What ended up happening is it just exploded, kind of thing. And she went to the doctor because she freaked. And the doctors freaked on her. They were giving her shit. They were going, we can't do anything unless you do chemo, and they were threatening all kinds of stuff. She didn't want to go through that. So anyway, she had all these blood tests done and everything, and they're telling her it's spread everywhere, and you can't do anything for you. You don't do chemo. So she gives the password to the doctor in South America, Dr. Rodriguez, to get into her medical records. Because this doctor's retired. He's only doing plasma now. He was a plastic surgeon. He looks in the medical records of her, the test they did, and there's no sign of cancer. The blood tests were all normal. They lied to her. So then they wanted to get a biopsy done. They had to go to 4 doctors before a doctor agreed to do a biopsy because it was horrible. It's horrible looking if you see the photos. It's just split open, the tumor. So they finally got the 4th doctor to do a biopsy. Absolutely no cancer left. And if you look at it now, it's all blackened because the cancer is gone. The plasma balanced it out. Now the breast needs to be. They're going to probably do reconstructive surgery, but we're going to be able to, in the future, to be able to reconstruct anything with plasma. You need a liver, a new liver, you can do it. Your arm gets cut off, you'll be able to instantaneously put it on. Your leg gets cut off, liver, heart, you'll be able to do it all plasmatically. This is where we're going. This juice is not even scratching the surface. Like I say, 108 days. So that's where we're going, folks. Master Fast system. We put a name to it just so we can have reference to it. And everybody understands, and there's protocols we can follow and so on and so forth. But everything in Master Fast is there for plasmatic reasons, not for matter reasons. I've explained this several times. Cooked juice goes to higher order. We activate it with lemon. At the beginning, I was telling people to use raw lemon. So because I'm working with mostly raw food mentality people, and they were bashing me right from the start. So that's the reason I said use raw lemon. But honestly, folks, if you cook the lemon, it's going to be even better. I mentioned this on the last interview, Mark Gordon, he's laughing. It'll be better. Because you're bringing to the higher order. This is where the lack of understanding. If you're going to be juicing to eat your fruit, you're going the wrong way. When you're going to eat your fruit, you eat it. When we're going to do cleanse, we're going to cook the juices. Because the raw juices are problematic. I've explained this. They're problematic, especially when you're full of crap throughout the GI tract. Things start fermenting, everything. A lot of people, when they start getting into the fruits from sad diets, they start blowing up like balloons of gas. because it's all fermenting. You don't want to be doing raw juices. If you're going to do raw juices, when do them very occasionally. Once you've done a 108-day master fast, you can do raw juices occasionally. No big deal, because most of that crap is gone, and you won't have issues with it. But honestly, the best thing is eat it. If you're going to eat fruit, eat it. So we go to a cook juice. We go to higher order to do the job of man's disgusting situation on this planet. It's been living so far away from its natural state, the natural law, that the body is there's so much stuff in the body, obstructions, that the body doesn't even recognize what they are, and we can't do it with food anymore, as most of you have seen. A lot of you have been down the fruit eating and taking herbs, and you get a little better for a while, and then nothing's happening because you're not getting rid of all that gunk. You're not fasting. So these are the keys and why the glorified dry fast, which is master fast, that's all it is, glorified dry fast, shines. We're focusing directly on the GI tract on purpose, supporting all the organs and glands and the eliminative organs with the herbs and the psyllium, the plasma pudding, so we don't burn ourselves out when we start releasing all these deep embedded toxins and chemicals and so on and so forth within our structures and cells and everything. That stuff's toxic, boys and girls. I burnt my kidneys pretty good my first 40-day Conquer juice fast. I've mentioned this before. So this is why we use all these things. The tea is cooked. They make fun of us using cooked grape juice, but they cook their tea, their herbal teas. I don't understand. Sometimes people, you're bringing it to high order, Let's give an example. Let's get a laxative herb, senna. You can take the herb and it makes you go to the bathroom. You boil it in a tea, drink the tea without using the herb, and it makes you go to the bathroom. Probably even better when you make the tea, because we brought it to high order. So this is what's the word? I can't even think of it. They're already doing something, but they're saying it's no good. What's a word they use for that? Oxymoron or hypocritical? As you see, I failed English, so even though it's my first language. So yeah, we use the cooked tea, and then we're using tinctures. The tincture process, how we do it, putting in alcohol, which is spirit. Spirit of the plant goes into the spirit of the alcohol, and that contains the essence in a plasmatic form to deliver that to our spirit and our physicality. That's how the herbs tinctures work. That's why they're so powerful. Way better than using them in capsule form, in my opinion. That's why we don't use any dried herbs, except for making tea. When you start ingesting, it's not a fast, and you're going to get results. But we're not looking for just results. We're on master fast. We're going right there. We're going right to the cell structure. We're going to the blueprint within the ether. We want access to the blueprint. And how are you going to do that? You're going to have to do extensive dry fasting. And this is what master fast is focusing on. Clean that GI tract, extensive dry fasting, so we have access. And that's why we're seeing miracles happening there almost every day. There's 3 testimonials. When was it? Today? Yesterday? They just keep coming in. Transformations on cooked stuff. And we have the charcoal cooked to death, pure charcoal. They've been using it in hospitals for poison control and so on and so forth, and drug overdose, because it works on a plasmatic level. They don't understand how it's working. They say charcoal will absorb so many times its weight, blah, blah, blah. Bull crap. Bull crap. They don't understand how it works. They don't. They don't. They're trying to explain it. It's all theory. It's all garbage. Plasmatically. How can something absorb so many times its weight structure? It's in a plasmatic field that things are happening. And it's bringing balance to the toxins and so on and so forth. The clay is more of a physical draw. You can feel it when you put it on your skin. And the psyllium husk is also physical, but they also work on it's more of a subtle plasmatic, not nowhere near the strength of the charcoal, because we brought that to higher order by burning it, cooking it to death. Can't kill anything, folks. Can't kill energy. Why do we say we're bringing it to higher order? Because we're putting it back to where it came from, its origin, to recreate life again. The matter state is the lowest form. So this is the stuff we play with in Master Fast, along with dry fasting, which is cooked. And it's just acidic, according to chemistry. But it's doing magic, folks. We got 2 extreme cases. You guys all know them. And they're shining on this program. They're shining. Gabrielis, he's on. He's one of them. One of our main superheroes. And Nadine, I wish he would be able to join us, but he's on live. I hope one day he can give us a testimonial. His story is total butchery. Gabrielis was an accident, butchery as well. But the poor Marin, they put him through so much unnecessary garbage, as well as Gabrielis, unnecessary surgeries. But we can make this understanding, and this, what I'm trying to say, we can bring this to such expanded levels of healing that people can't comprehend. How do you repair nerve damage when you're paralyzed? Well, you can. Gabriel has done it, and he's continuing to do it. He's about 80% there from being totally paralyzed on his right side. How do you do that? Wow. You don't do anything. Isn't that magic? You don't do anything. You dry fast. But we can't dry fast forever. So we use Master Fast, and we're going back and forth. That's the magic. It shakes the body like you're cleaning a sponge, wet, dry, wet, dry. So we can shake up all those cells, loosen them up, physically, plasmatically, and body does its magic. But that's some stuff I'm touching on plasma, because it's whether you believe it or not, this is what we're based on. Here's some GANS material. This is CO2 zinc oxide. It's just when you look at it, it's magical. I love looking at GANS materials. They're just magical. You can play with these things, and they're just. So this water we call liquid plasma. When it's in contact directly or even right beside it, the energy fields will work. So if I put this little glass of wine beside the GANS material, the energy is going into the glass as well. So I highly recommend people play with all the GANS materials. We have, they work on the soul level. They don't work in physicality. And will everybody get results with them? No, it's okay. But we're seeing things happen with GANS materials that are pretty amazing. Just with GANS materials. And also with nano copper, which is just copper that we expose to lye, sodium hydroxide, caustic. And it turns it black. And what's actually happening is changing the surface area structure of the actual copper atoms into releasing and opening up their structure, so they form in tiny microscopic balls of gravitational magnetic field strengths, each one. And there'll be thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of layers because they're nano on the surface. And what it does, it allows the copper surface, when you make it into a nano coating, it allows it to become a superconductor and a super insulator. So you can hold a live wire, nano coated, running many hundreds and thousands of volts, and you don't get electrocuted. We've done it. We've done it. And there's no resistance, so that's why it's called a superconductor. And this is another part of space technology. But it's also, all these materials are all used in everything. They're not only used in one thing. They're used in health. They're used in agriculture. They're used in travel, energy, power, you name it. It's used in everything. I put some nano-coated copper in my plants at home, and they're growing like crazy. They're growing like crazy. You can do it with charcoal. You know, burn charcoal if you have it. But the nano copper is very easy to do. You just need some old copper wire stuff and some caustic to do the coating. It's a very simple process. I don't know if I made a video on that, but there's videos available. But yesterday's teaching, one of the teachers, Jackie, he's not eating very much. He's living on plasma mostly. He has a small tube, you know, like a cigar tube. It's glass. They sell expensive cigars, and he's got different GANs materials in there. He made one from bone cartilage, I believe, and some CO2 and some zinc and CuO, I believe. They made a mixture, and he has a coil, round coil with copper, and then he nano coated, and he let it stay for months, the nano coating process. The longer you do it, the better the nano material coating. And he has it inside water, and he's sealed, and that's his meal. So what he has a glass of water, and he has this tube, cigar tube, the glass cigar tube inside his water, and he has that 3 times a day, like a meal. So instead of his meals, he's drinking the water for his meals. So he's eating very rarely right now. But everybody's going to have a different need. He's been playing around with this for about a year now. And everybody's going to have a different need, because it's at the emotional level is the issue. So you may have to play with many different GANs and materials before you find a combination that'll settle your emotion, so you don't have to eat no more. And you won't be losing weight. And you won't be getting hungry. And you won't be thirsty. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? This is what Master Fast teaches you. If you want to go down that route, this is going to teach you. If the people that are on Master Fast, they know, especially once you break it, how much of an illusion food is. It's going to be a big wake-up call for a lot of us that are in the fast, never fasted before. And they start doing 40, 50, 60, 100 days of Master Fast and then start eating. It's going to be a wake-up call when you start eating. And what I mean is, you're going to eat, but you're not hungry, but you're going to still want to eat and eat and eat, and you don't know why. And that happens to some of us because we don't have our emotions settled. And this is why I'm saying we need to play with different GANs materials to find which one we can balance ourselves out. Like zinc is really good for the emotions, but it's not, it may not work for everybody, just the zinc. That's why you need a combination of different things. You can make GANs with everything, any different materials. So once we start playing with these things, you can have it like in a pen like this or whatever, and you carry it with you, and it'll keep you satisfied. But the key, the biggest key that everybody misses with plasma cup. The more you give, the more you receive. So, you know, that's why I give everything away for free, folks. Everybody needs the knowledge. Everybody needs to understand the flow of energy. The people that come on the page and take and take and take, there's lots of them. They don't give anything back. They don't even help other people. They don't make any posts of what's going on. They just take and take and take. And the more that builds, the more I give away. If you guys haven't noticed, I just keep giving. Because the level of understanding will come to those that are seeking correctness, balance, you know, and love in their life. It'll only come to those people. And some of the other takers, one day maybe the light will go on and go, holy geez, because we're all born takers. I was in that spot, always thinking of accumulating things. Now I want to get rid of it. So I share freely, and I support everybody freely. And people who donate, I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, because for a year, I was considering the first year, the first 6 months to 8 months, there was not much happening, and I was considering shutting down the page. But the testimonials started coming in, and I go, I can't stop anymore, because I know what this is. And that's where we are today. It's just growing and growing and growing. We speak, we don't have to speak, we show by results. We don't need a piece of paper, we don't need a science lab, we don't need a guy in a white jacket, we don't need a politician, we don't need a doctor, we don't need a homeopath, we don't need a naturopath to tell us what we know by seeing with our own eyes in our own bodies of what's happening in other people's bodies when they're on this cleanse. And the people who see all this and they still remain blind and they're demanding things from us like we owe it to them, they ain't gonna last with me. There was one woman doing that. She came right on, just demanding left, right, and center. And then she did it again last week. Then she places an order, and I go, listen, I don't appreciate you coming on the site and demanding who you think you are. And then she canceled the order, which is a blessing. It's a blessing. I don't need that energy. And then I made the post of that. You know, people coming on the site demanding this, that, and the other thing, and making legal threats and all this crap ain't gonna last with me. Ain't gonna last. We welcome everybody, and we'll bend over backwards for the doers. And as I said, the only way we're gonna expand is people share the good, the bad, and the ugly. And to me, when people are posting and they're thinking it's ugly, to me it's beauty, because they don't have an understanding. That's why I want to know it all. The lack of experience in detoxification and how the body heals is so much of it on an ignorance level. Even all these people with these certificates, they don't have an understanding. They've passed tests, but they don't have an understanding. I'm not saying I know it all, but I can see because I've been through it. I have the experience, and experience trumps all. And I've seen a lot, folks. Hard to believe, but I put this body through a lot. You can see my pictures, what I did to myself. So, you know, we can help a lot of people. And people go through these strong healing reactions, and, you know, they go running to doctors because they just don't know what's going on. They don't have the faith. And they're trying to be heroes, some people, doing these long dry fasts inside the master fast. Bad news, folks. You're going to hurt yourselves, especially a dehydrated body. Slow, steady wins the race. Persistence, consistency. And don't look back. And you just got to keep going. it's I don't understand. Like people, they're going to doing saunas and stuff. I've been trying a sauna on dry fasting, folks. It's too aggressive. I will not recommend saunas for anybody doing dry fast. Too dangerous, even for me. I'm not used to saunas, and it doesn't matter. I've seen what it does when you're on a dry fast. It really dries you out. We do not want to be forcing the body that much because the body already knows what it's doing. So then you're getting into inervation. Is that what it's called? When the overstress. We don't want to get into that point. We're already doing lots on the master fast. If you want to do a sauna when you're drinking the juice, yeah, maybe one a week, but I wouldn't want to be doing too many saunas on master fast, honestly. Like I said, when you're drinking one a week, two max, should be fine if you're drinking enough. But it's you can put yourself in a danger zone when you're dry fasting and you're doing saunas. So you have to be prudent here. Don't listen to people who haven't done and don't know. And just because somebody has a certificate doesn't mean they know anything about what's happening in the body when it's healing. I have a team of admins that I've selected for certain reasons. They're not there just because whatever. I read pretty much every post I can. Now it's getting difficult, and I've seen how people respond to other people, and I can understand and I can see if the person has an understanding of what's going on through detoxification, and the admins on the page have a pretty good understanding, and that's why they're there. We're looking for more. There's a couple other ones that are going to be coming up. But 108 days is the first requirement, and you have to have vast knowledge of understanding of detoxification, and then you have to have the basic comprehension of what master fast is, because it's nothing to do with physicality, as people think it is. Master fast, not physical. Dry fasting is where everything happens. And when we go back to wet, it washes out all the stuff that the dry fast is loosened up and burnt and getting ready to dump. So you need both. That's why there's other dry fasting groups, and you don't see and hear many miracles. Yeah, they get results, but you don't see miracles happen. You don't see spine straightening out and nerves regenerating and cancers and this and that going away. You don't see all this like we're getting because they don't have that understanding that what we're doing with master fast. It's not difficult to understand. It's simple. It's simple. We need to move out of the way. We need to move out of the way with our mind when we're on nature's operating table. We call it nature's operating table. Actually, we should upgrade it to the universe's operating table, because nature's operating table is limited. And when you're looking in nature, you're going to stay limited in matter state. When you're dry fasting, you're having access to your blueprint in the ether, and this is what all animals do. You can call it nature, but nature lives under the rules of the universe, and this is where the magic happens. Nature is very limited, as a lot of us have found out. I took over a year to get my kidneys to open up and start filtering on fruits and herbs, and they didn't open up a lot. They started filtering over a year. Since I started dry fasting, everything changed, and then I did my long dry master fast. I did like 2 years of fruits and herbs. I didn't get much. I did 40-day grape fasts and this and that, and other juice fasts. I did citrus juice fasts. No power. Last citrus one was, I don't remember when was it? I have it posted somewhere. I did mostly grapefruits and a lot of lemons and some oranges. Uh, you're not going to see coming out what you see on Masterfest. It's the raw citrus fast. I did these before. I was able to put together the knowledge to form the Masterfast. It was just over 2 years when it came to me. That's my understanding. Going back to the cook, where the true power is, for cleansing. And the funny thing is, lost my train of thought again. Today, that's fun. What was I saying?
They put together the
Yeah. Lost my train of thought. Anyway. If anybody has any questions,
I do.
go ahead.
It's Linda. I'm on day 86 right now.
Excellent.
Got a bad cold, coughing up all kinds of crap for about 2 weeks, sicker than a dog.
Beautiful.
Huh?
Beautiful.
I know. Oh, man, it's whipped my butt. I never had this on my first 90-day or Gino.
You're going deep, Linda. You're going
Oh, my God.
really deep.
Oh, my God. This has whooped my butt.
Jump for joy. I wish I can get a cold when I get into a fight. I pray.
But 2 weeks, Gino, oh my gosh. I have been doing so much dry fasting because I don't have the want for anything.
Yeah.
I made up my teas. I've been doing my kidney and 3-lung tea to try and help expectorate everything out, but which it's working because I'm full. But you know, the thing that I thought about why this is happening, and my mom, when I was growing up, was a chain smoker. She'd light a cigarette with the cigarette in the car, in the house. I mean, I was around smoke my whole life. Never smoked a cigarette in my life, but secondhand smoke all my childhood. Bam, there it is. So.
Yeah, it's. I went through a severe lung detoxification many years ago when I was in the raw food, and it lasted like 5 weeks, and it was bad. During the day, though, it was strange that I hardly coughed, very little here and there. As soon as I went to bed, around 2 in the morning or whatever it was, lung hour, I'd be coughing my brains out. The guy was a friend of mine who was living with me. He thought I was dying because this happened. And I was throwing up so much stuff from the cough. I had to put a bucket beside my bed. It was so much.
Yeah.
And this happened. This went on for 5 weeks. And if you looked at me, I have a picture of that time. I didn't look sick because you're not sick.
No. It's just, I've gone through 6 boxes of Kleenexes in 2 weeks.
But this is what separates people to go to that next level and people who get into the fear and they stop these, what the body's trying to do.
Right.
This is what it takes, the understanding to keep going, pedal to the metal. Doesn't matter how you feel. Jump for joy. Body knows way more than all the white jackets put together on this planet.
I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not fun, but
yeah.
This is what we need to do.
Yeah.
When people get colds and flus, man, and they don't want to fast, I'm boggled. It's the best time.
Yeah.
Dumping.
Well, I haven't been doing a lot of juices. A lot of times I just dry fast and then I have 1 thing of tea and my tinctures and my psyllium pudding. And I'll maybe have one tall glass of grape juice with a little bit of lemon in it, and that's it. I'm done. I just don't have the desire.
Yeah. when you got a cold, basically, nobody's hungry. You know,
Mm-mm.
it's listen to the body. You know, if it want a little bit, you know, drink some. The thing is that we got to be careful. We can only go dry so long, so we got to be prudent. You can hydrate through enemas and stuff if you have to. Um,
I still do my enema. I still do because I mean, I just feel it, you know, I just need to do that. It's just something that makes everything, you know, clean out really well.
yeah.
So I'm still moving mucoid plaque out, you know, parasites still coming, but I tell you, this has kicked my ass. Excuse my
We love you,
French.
Linda. We love you.
Thank you, hun. Okay, I'm out.
Take care. You're going to be much stronger coming out of this one. Just watch what's going to happen. You're going to be shining like you're a teenager again.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad to have brought this up to you because I thought for sure that I've got something else going on, but if you went 5 weeks, then hey, I'm in it for the long haul.
Yeah. Well, this one, when I was doing the raw food things and I didn't have this knowledge I do now. You know, with this cooked juice and then the dry fasting and the herbs and the way we're doing it, there's nothing like it out there. It's just it just starts pulling everything out of your body that doesn't belong. Little by little, you keep going, it keeps pulling. You keep going, it keeps pulling until there is absolutely nothing left in your body that is foreign. It won't stop. That's how powerful Master Fast is. There is no plateau, folks. All other juice fasts and all kinds of ones that I've tried, you plateau. I did wheatgrass to the tilt. I did more than anybody. I did 2 years of 14 to 16 ounces, 18 ounces a day. Did it do me good? Yeah. But I plateaued. Couldn't get any further with it. You know, I did raw grape juice fasts, you know, for 30, 40 days. I've done them. Lots of them. I've done citrus, I've told you. I've done the Master Cleanse fasts. They got no power, guys. They got no power. So go do them. A lot of us have tried them. They got no power. You know, people, I want to try the raw version. Go for it. Be our guest. Waste your time. And the expense. It's ridiculous. Because we got such a better thing to do, and it's so cheap. We just go to the store and buy it already prepared. We don't have to go, you know, wash and juice and all that, all that crap. We just buy the bottle. It's already done for us. How much easier do we want it? This lifestyle is amazing. I'm in my 3rd week again on Master Fast. You know, I'm doing 3 days a week dry now. It's amazing. It's amazing. Amazing. I feel amazing.
That's awesome. Are you doing 3 days consecutively?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do however you like. You can eat every 48 hours, whatever. But you got to understand, folks. Don't try this if you don't have a clean eating and dry fasting experience pushing like we're pushing. You don't need to be a hero. You're going to hurt yourself. I've been fasting for 26 years, and it still sometimes kicks my butt. You don't want to be doing this. You start on the low end. We have the range for a reason. I keep saying it. Start on the low end, slow, steady. Over the weeks, months, you can increase slowly. When you're comfortable, the body starts hydrating. You'll know. Too many people are pushing, I see, and hurting themselves. And you can hurt yourself, especially when you start digging into these dry fasts and everything. And then you crash and you go eat some junk food and everything. You're gonna pay.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. But what happens is when you go into these deep states, and especially in the dries, and then you eat crap that you're not supposed to eat, that stuff gets embedded deep. To get it out next time, you got to go even further. This is what people fail to understand. So if you're going to fast, you need to write down your goals for how you're going to break your fast, and you need to stick to them.
Yep.
Very important. For a few weeks minimum. But in reality, it's as long as the fast, the breaking of the fast. So if you fasted for 3 months, 3 months of breaking the fast, of being cautious, what you're eating, so the body can rebalance itself. So, 30 days, whatever it is. This is the basic rule of fasting. Any wise man can fast. Sorry, any fool can fast, but only a wise man can break the fast. That's the saying. So the breaking of the fast is crucial. And I've seen so many people hurting themselves like badly. And we don't want to see that. We don't want to see this. And the masterclass is not for everybody. Not for everybody. Most people do not want to do whatever it takes, no matter how long and no matter what. It's not for everybody. Only for the select few who want what I just said. And those are the people that are going to shine and get the results, because they're the doers, the shakers, the movers, and this is what we're looking for. We're not looking for people mediocre who want to dabble here and there and just complain and point fingers. Does Master Fast killed anybody? And stupid questions like that. It's ridiculous ignorance. Ridiculous. And then threaten me. Come on. How stupid can you be? How stupid can you be? They fill their body up with shit their whole freaking life, and then they're going to point their finger at somebody else that they kill themselves. Folks, this is the world we're living in. Gluttony, mental retardation, actual mind is made of shit because they're so full of it. That's what we're dealing with all the time. Look around. People's mind is made of shit. Literally. And we're showing it. We're showing it. We are so filthy human beings. Our thoughts are shit. And that's the state of our planet. And if we don't change, we're just going to keep spiraling down. So we need to be the change. We need to be the change. Clean up the shit. Mind clears up. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. But enough of that.
Thank you, Gino.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any questions?
Somebody's asking here, what about infrared sauna?
I have one. I have an infrared. I bought it several years ago.
He's asking, does the same apply to sauna using near infrared bulbs?
Well, they're both infrared. Yeah, Dr. Morse doesn't like them because it's isolated chemistry, blah, blah, blah. Make yourself GANS material, folks. Put some GANS material in there, you'll be safe. Let's say, even if it's not good, put the GANS material in there. Put nanomaterials in there. Put charcoal in them. You'll be safe. We have a solution for everything, folks. What a beautiful time to be alive. Go ahead, Miriam.
I have a question. I've been doing one meal a day for the past week, and I would like to get off food altogether. And I don't have the tinctures yet, and they seem to be stuck somewhere in the Midwest.
Say that again. I missed you.
So I've been doing the hybrid with one meal a day,
Right.
and I would like to stop the food altogether.
Uh-huh.
And my tinctures seem to be stuck somewhere, so I was wondering how okay would it be to just do it without the tinctures?
We don't support people doing massive fast without tinctures. 5, 6, 7 days maximum without tinctures. I wouldn't do any more than that. And then some people I wouldn't recommend at all, depending what state they're in, because they're so toxic. So
I see.
they're very important to be on the herbs. The herbs, they do their magic when you're fasting. They don't do magic when you're eating. They'll help when you're eating, but they don't do magic, like I've seen.
Yeah, I understand. So I would need to continue the hybrid until I get them.
I would highly recommend it. I don't know exactly what state you're in, but it's always better to do that way. If they're probably being held at the border. That happens sometimes. They hold it for a week or whatever. They could for however they long with no explanation or anything. That's the way the borders work, and then they go through. So that happens occasionally, but everything's gone through so far.
So I have another question. Well, I don't know how long they'll keep it at the border, but in terms of eating, is there a minimal amount that I should be eating until I'm able to get off food and start the tinctures?
Don't understand how much quantity of food? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, you're saying not to do the master fast without the tinctures.
Yeah, because it's not master fast without the tinctures. It's a system.
Right. Yeah. So that means I would need to remain on hybrid until the tinctures arrive.
Yeah, you're not even doing hybrid without the tinctures. The hybrid includes tinctures.
Oh, that's true.
But for a few days, it's okay.
Like my mother would not fast and all this, but she drinks a glass of Concord grape juice every morning with her lemon. And it's been over a year. My dad passed away. She lost a lot of weight just drinking that instead of her regular breakfast.
I'm not looking for weight loss. I'm looking
No,
for
I'm just saying,
yeah.
I'm just saying the power of the cooked grape with a lemon, even on somebody like my mother who eats anything. She's an omnivore, Italian, eats everything. It's done miracles, just a glass of grape juice in the morning that she drinks.
So is it bad to not take the tinctures for a few days during the hybrid?
Well, I think you guys all need to reread the master fast.
I hear what you're saying. I'm not even doing the hybrid if I'm not on the tincture.
Exactly, yeah. The hybrid was designed for children, for elders, and to live on. Once you've done a long master fast, you can live on the hybrid. You don't need the tinctures once you've cleaned out. You can use occasionally, if you're using that part of the master fast, the hybrid, to live on after you've cleaned, you don't need to be doing the tinctures every day. You could if you want, but you don't need it. We know you can live on it. Marian is almost 300 days, I think now. In total, he took a small break. He's been on master fast. He's our superhero in the length of time. And he lost weight, and he stopped losing weight, and then he started putting on muscle. Do we have Sullivan here? Sullivan? The professional, Salam. This professional tennis player. She just did put a post the other day. She has basically lost no weight. She gained muscle, and her performance is way better. She's working out 5-6 hours a day, I think it is. She's a professional tennis player. Guys, understand what master fast is. Understand. It's only your belief system that's going to hold you back. She's shining. You can read her testimony. I put it up. And she's almost at 100 days. She's at in her 80s or 90s. Professional tennis player on master fast with our herbs, working out, playing her tennis every day, 5-6 days a week, whatever she's doing. She also went through a tournament on the fast. We blow away all the belief systems. That's all they are out there. They're all belief systems. Believe what you can, believe what you want. You got to rest, live, heal. It's all bullcrap. It's all bullcrap. When you're tired and you're really nude and you can't relieve yourself with enemas and everything, rest. When you got energy, use it. And use it good.
So
Go
what
all
do you
out.
suggest for Marian now? What do you suggest?
Just stay, drinking some juice and eating your fruit meal and your salad or raw soup.
It's no big deal.
How about if I purchase the herbs and just drink them as a tea? Those herbs that you have in the tinctures.
You mean the dried herbs?
Mm-hmm.
It takes a while she wants to make teas.
How many herbs are you going to buy? Like each tincture's got anywhere from 6 to 20 herbs in it. So when you're buying Divine 9, you're getting hundreds of herbs.
I ordered the 4.
4. Okay, well, the 4 has approximately what?
She's waiting for the herbs, so it shouldn't be a big deal. And it's the hybrid. I mean, it's not exactly the hybrid, but I mean, it's slow detox.
You got kidney tea. You got psyllium.
Yeah, I'm doing all of that for a week already.
Gotta be deeply detoxing. So
Well, just keep those bowels moving. Keep those bowels moving.
help your body in every way you can.
I don't suggest people do things without the herbs myself. But anyway, everybody does whatever they want anyway.
Just a few days until they are pure.
Could be a few days, could be longer. Yeah. Do what you feel you need to do.
I feel I need the support of the herbs, so I'm thinking maybe to get them locally and do them in tea form until the tinctures arrive.
Yeah, well, the herbs are essential. Anybody who doesn't do the herbs, I don't want to deal with them. I won't support them. A few people have actually tried without the herbs.
Otherwise,
And-
no.
And then they went on the herbs and they posted their experience. And they said, never again will I do without the herbs, because they seen the difference. Especially our herbs. Our herbs are in a different class. I don't know if the only people that know our herbs are the people who have done other herbs and then tried ours. Just ask people on our herbs. They're very special. I don't mess around when I get involved in something. It's the best, or forget it. I don't even want to talk about it.
Otherwise,
Can I get a list of the herbs so I can make my own tea until the tinctures arrive?
I put up a file in the Facebook, Master Fast Tinctures. Got all the ingredients.
Okay, thanks.
otherwise, Mariam, you can maybe just do raw food for now until you're ready. You have everything.
You want?
You can do 2 meals of raw food a day and forget about the.
I really don't want to eat. It just it just makes me want to eat more. I want to get off it altogether.
Yeah, that's what happens. You really have to go through a few fasts and understand the cycle of fasting and breaking, and cycle of eating and breaking, fasting and breaking, but fasting and breaking, fasting. You have to do that a few times to get it in your head, get a feel for it, and to have an understanding. And as you're doing that, you're cleaning the temple, cleaner. And your awareness becomes different. Your sensations for food's different. The way you think about food's different. And if you can find to balance out your emotions, you're not going to be eating a lot. Like the amount of money I spend on food these days, it's ridiculous. Almost nothing. Yeah. I don't know. It's a joke how much I eat compared to what I used to eat just a few years back. You'll see. You'll see what I'm talking about. Food's an illusion. It's only to satisfy emotion. People bash me about all the nutrition. You're missing this, that, and that. Starvation. Bull crap. Level of intelligence. Over here. They don't want to expand. That's all it is. They don't have an understanding, and they don't want to have an understanding. So many of us have proved that all that bull crap wrong. And we're all, Gabrielis is one, I'm one, Myron is another one. He's pushed it further than anybody so far. I just talked about the professional tennis player on MasterFast. There's many stories. So where do you want to take it? What's your goal? What's your health goal? In detail. Did you write it down? These are keys. These are keys to make your story, your success story, to balance yourself out. Because if you don't know exactly what you want to do, you're not going to do it. You have to write them down. Magic of the pen. So you're clear, and you stay focused. Especially when you're getting close to breaking the fast, you really need to be focused on breaking the fast. And this is where most of us fail. We've all been through failures, and it's not fun. It's not fun, folks, because you can hurt yourself. You can hurt yourself. So, stay focused. Be smart. Being on this juice gives you a different energy than anything else. There's no raw juices that give you this energy. The people that are saying they feel horrible on it and everything, they're making up their stories that the raw juice is better. It's their level of understanding is around here. The raw juice does not clean at the level of the cooked juice. And that's why when they do the cooked juice, they feel horrible because they're stirring up the cesspool. And then they go back to the raw juice and they feel good because the cesspools stop being cleaned out. How the level of intelligence and the ignorance of common sense is not there. Ask the proper questions. The answer will come right to you. I hope all you guys, I made that clear, how simple detox is. Of course you're going to feel horrible when you stir the cesspool. Of course. You built it.
I have another question here about batch remedies where they use back remedies where they use energy and vibration.
Excellent. That's
of the plant to correct physiological patterns.
You're talking about plasma, homeopaths. Yeah. They work. Any form of anything of herbs, I'm all for it. Essential oils, homeopathic, all the Bach, they're all good.
Cynthia shares. Cynthia says here that she tried the infrared sauna once in a dry fast and she got dizzy, so she didn't even sweat, so she doesn't do it anymore.
Don't do saunas and dry fast, folks.
Okay, another question. Is it recommended to use the tinctures twice a day or 3 times?
Okay. I can speak for our herbs. Twice a day is all you need. On Master Fast, and they'll do the job. And they'll last you probably 3 months at least. Our bottles. We've had people, they've lasted 3 months, easy. That lasted the whole 108 days.
Yeah, if you do it to a lower dose.
Yeah, our herbs are so strong. And when you're on the Master Fast, they're doing their magic because there's no interference. You're not eating, no digestion. This is the key. They can do all their magic. Twice a day is all you need. You could do 3 if you have a large window. You can do them 3 times a day. If you're doing other people's herbs, you may need to do 4, 5, 6 times the amount of ours to get the same level. Honestly, folks, try ours and try everybody else's. There's no comparison. Ask anybody on them.
Ask them if they have other questions.
Anybody else?
I have a question.
Sure.
So I'm on day 35 and feeling great except for the dry periods. Those are a little harder. But don't go to the bathroom unless I do an enema.
That's okay.
Is that, there's no problem with that?
We state that if you don't have a bowel movement, you need to do an enema. Every day you have to have a bowel movement, at least.
Okay.
But honestly, if you do enemas every single day of your fast, the only thing you're going to do is have stronger bowels.
Okay.
Leave all the bull crap behind. Laura put a post up yesterday, I think it was, about how much stronger her bowels are now. She did 60 days, and she's almost finished the 108 days on her second one, and wasn't a long rest period between. She had really weak, and now she says she can hold 2 liters of water in her colon and rebound.
Wow.
Folks, we break the myths, the garbage, the bull crap. Colonics and enemas will only strengthen your bowels when you're on a fast. This is the key. Got to be on a fast.
So they strengthen and they release a lot of waste.
Yeah, I feel great after I do them, but I did do the grape, and that was a little too strong for me, I will say.
You can dilute it.
Oh, okay, because I felt it for a while.
Yeah, it's powerful. But you can dilute it if it's too strong, or you can use it straight, whatever you like. You can use the teas. You can use the baking soda if you have acid, diarrhea. We have everything. The grasses are good for implants. But honestly, folks, think about your colon as a muscle. How do you strengthen a muscle? You pick up a weight and you work it. What's the colon? How's the colon exercising? When you put water in there, think about it as a weight. That's all it is.
Right.
Pressure, it gets stronger. Every single person who's done a master fast at least 40 days has stronger bowels after they break it. And everybody who's in their second master fast after they've done one long one, they have regular bowel movements on the master fast.
Wow.
So what does that tell you? You have to look at things with common sense. Stop listening to all the bull crap, folks. Ask the proper questions. Just because somebody says, oh, they said colonics and enemas weakens your colon, and you believe it? Just because it's written down on a piece of paper, you believe it? This is how we're trained.
The thing is, these people have not done it. These people haven't done it. So how can they talk about it? We have done it so many times, you know?
Right. Everybody thinks like I'm proving them. They keep telling me, "Oh, you know, your skin looks so great. Your nails are so long." I had to cut them because they were getting in the way. But you know, when I tell them what I'm doing, they think, "What? And you're not tired, and you're not, you know, feeling sick?"
They're not at that level of comprehension.
Right.
They haven't been there. They don't understand.
It's too simple for people to understand, honestly.
It is. It's
Just think, if you think in simple terms, okay? If you guys read Cash Living on Light file, you're going to have a better understanding. We, as a human being in this physicality, are taking in over 80% of our energy, all energy, through the plasmatic nitrogen in the air, not the oxygen. The air is about almost 80% nitrogen, with a few other gases. There's some oxygen and some helium, I believe, and whatever. We're not using the food to give us energy. The foods, most foods that people eat, take more energy than they give you. They actually do. Think about how, think about we're going along each day with no food. We're not eating food all the time. And where are we getting this energy? We're constantly moving, everything, all the time. Every movement, every breath, it's all energy. Energy is being used all the time, nonstop. Even when you're sleeping, the body's using energy. You can measure the current. It's subtle, low energy. Where does all this energy come from? It's the plasmatic nitrogen in the air. So when you stop digestion completely, what happens to the energy? It goes way up. V equals P, take away O. Vitality equals power, take away obstruction. Arnold Ehret's formula, and it's valid. When you're full of obstructions, the body is using its power to try and move the obstructions, and guess what? Your energy levels go down because you're consuming power. So digestion, same thing. When you have no obstructions, the body does not have to use that power to remove any obstructions. So what? The vitality goes way up. That's how simple it is, folks. Common sense. Right in front of your eyes, truth. We get our energy from plasma. Whether we believe it or not, we're doing it anyway. And so do all the other animals. So until man reaches that state, which will come, that we won't need to eat no more. When that happens, the animals won't be eating either because they won't be eating each other. Nobody will be eating any plants, anything, because the total life on this planet, animals and plants, are a reflection of man's consciousness. And we are at the consciousness level of filth, below parasites. We only destroy and take. That's why we're in this position we are on this planet. It's disgusting. Until man changes that, nothing's going to change in nature. Once that happens, the lamb will sleep with the lion. It's coming. Plasma is how it's going to happen.
Thank you.
So somebody
You're
was
welcome.
asking, do you think that using our thoughts and emotions together would help create a plasma field? And if so, mastering brain power would mean we have infinite power.
Exactly. Yes, of course. It's all done through the mind. Our soul sits outside of us, but our emotion is in the center of our brain. And we have the glands in our head. We have the pineal, pituitary, the thalamus, hypothalamus. And it's what we call that as the star formation in space technology. And all the spacecraft you'll see will have, you'll see star formation forms of lights. And that's how they control. And it's all done through thought, intent, and emotion. So, we are a spaceship. Our body's a spaceship. We're traveling every night when we sleep. Not with the body, but we have the capability of actually traveling with the matter state as well. We have it. We just don't remember. And our belief system has been altered through our brainwashing, from when we were small, growing up, through all the bull crap indoctrinated stuff we go through. So we don't believe it on the subconscious level. We can talk about it, we can know about it, but we really don't believe it, or we could be doing. That's why I'm saying the new generations, the children are going to be shining with this technology because they're not brainwashed with us. You know, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, maybe up to 10 years old, they're going to shine if they start getting involved in space technology, plasma. We're going to shine. We're going to be seeing things like it's magic, but it's not magic because we understand it now, how life's created through plasmatic fields. The chicken or the egg, what came first? You know, things get created when the environment is in a correct situation for that life to manifest. It just appears. Fish will just appear if the conditions are right, out of nothing, out of thin air, or any other species of animal. This is how life is created.
Let's learn about evolution.
Evolution's bullcrap. So, you know, new life is being created all the time. You ever bring fruit in the house, and all of a sudden, there's fruit flies after a few days. Where do they come from, folks? Did you ever ask yourself that?
Yeah, it's important to keep an open mind.
So, you know, everything we've been taught is bullcrap. We need to expand, to add to the knowledge. We don't have to forget everything we've learned. This is how we got to where we are at this point. It was a learning experience. We just add to the knowledge. We add to every time we learn something, we add. And this is why what we're doing with MasterFast and how we're expanding. You know, we've made changes over the year because we've learned so much from so many people doing it. And if people don't give us feedback, what use are you to humanity? You shouldn't be on the page. If you don't want to give us your feedback of how you experience MasterFast, you've taken. I haven't given anything, not even a donation, nothing to anybody. What are you here for? We don't want you. It's not for you. Go somewhere else. Go steal from somebody else. You know, but we'll keep giving more because you have to understand plasma. You keep giving to keep the plasma strength stronger. The more they take, the stronger we get. Because MasterFast is not me. MasterFast is everybody. Whoever's doing it, it becomes a stronger field because there's a actual plasma field called MasterFast in the ether that we have access to when we're using any information on MasterFast. And it's available for everybody for free. So this is the beauty of working on plasma levels and why we're seeing the magic happening with people.
All right, so Robert is asking, I thought food is just building blocks, not energy.
No, bullcrap, Robert.
That's like nutrition.
No such thing as nutrition. No such thing. You, okay, let's put it this way. This juice is dead. According to most people in the health field, right? Dead. On MasterFast, we got a few herbs in the juice. Calorie-wise, or whatever-wise you want to look at it, vitamins and minerals and all that, there's not much there, and a few tinctures, tea, and the juice. How can you live on it and thrive?
Right. We thrive.
Yeah, you can not only live on it, you could thrive.
Like completely.
So ask, like I just talked about that athlete. 5, 6, 7 hours a day, she's working out, guys. She's a professional tennis player.
I bet you she's
She
performing
gained,
better.
she gained muscle and she's performing better. I asked her directly. She gained muscle and she's performing better. She's so happy. She's so happy. Why wouldn't you be? And you feel amazing. Your mind's clear. And you don't have to worry about all that. You got more time to do things because you don't have to worry about all this food. Don't you guys notice when you're on? There's so much more time. And that's why people have problems sometimes because they're used to doing all these stupid things to eat. And then they with all that extra time, it's kind of confusing. But once you start doing MasterFast for 1 or 2, 3 months, you start loving it. And then when you go back to eating, you go, holy jeez, I don't have any time like I did when I was fasting. So it's
Yeah, the information will come to you and you start coming with ideas to do with your time, right?
Yeah, I do. When I'm fasting, I get a lot of information coming through. A lot of information. Like I keep saying, we have an army of angels backing us up, guys, folks, guys and girls. They're right there. They're supporting Mass Fast 100%. I don't care what people do, say, try and do. Doesn't matter. Still relevant.
Okay. Yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah, somebody's asking, has Mr. Kush done the Massive Fast?
No, Mr. Kish isn't interested in physicality.
What does he say about the Massive Fast?
What does he say? I haven't talked to him directly about Master Fast at all. I've the students that we're in class with, which I'm there every day, 5 days a week. A few of them know about what we're doing. One of the main teacher knows what we're doing, it's we're working. The teaching is on soul level. It's not for matter state, and what we're teaching and learning from each other is we got to get away from eating completely. This is what Master Fast is teaching us, folks. You don't need physical foods, and if you believe that, you've been duped, and you want to remain duped. It's okay. It's okay. It's not for everybody. Will we all stop eating? Maybe not in this life, but humanity is going in that direction. Believe it or not. Who would have ever thought I'd be living without eating 3 days a week? I wouldn't have thought this, even though I've been fasting all these years. No drinking, no eating, 3 days a week. Who would have thought? It's 12 days a month. It's almost half a month. At the end of the year, I'm almost at half a year. So out of a year, I'm not eating almost half a year. Actually, I'll be probably more than half a year because every season change, I do a long one. I do a long dry fast. So, guys, I did a lot of damage on my body. I've mentioned on the high fat, raw vegan, a lot of damage. You guys have no idea how much damage. And it killed my friend, and it almost killed me. After that, I did so much damage. My GI tract is so full because I was doing MSM for years as well. I destroyed my adrenals with the raw cacao bull crap. That's why I lost all my hair, destroyed my teeth. I've talked about this before. And people make fun of me. They say I don't look good. Why you look old? Whatever. That's the level they're at. Doesn't matter to me. I've come a long way since that. A long way. It's been. At first, I was 2 years just doing fruits and the herbs, and then after that, when did I start dry fasting? It's been about 3 years dry fasting. So as soon as I started dry fasting, and then the Master Fast, all the magic started happening. I regained my lost height, 3/4 of an inch. I had mentioned that before. That only happens through hydration. Drinking no water, and I got hydrated. How does that work? Because everything we've been taught is a lie. Water doesn't freaking hydrate you.
I don't know.
Hard to believe. Once you've understand and you've been in Master Fast, you know what I'm talking about. Once you've experienced it, you know what I'm talking about.
Once you get it to dry fasting, what would be the last thing you want to drink?
Yeah, you some people, it takes them a while. They take them 50, 60, 70, 80 days before they start feeling a bit hydrated. But you have to be consistent. Some people might not do it in 108 days. That's how bad condition they are. And you'll see it by people that lose weight very, very, very quickly and lots of weight. They turn to skin and bones. And they need to fast more than anybody else. Physically and emotionally, that's where they're at, and that's what they need to go through if they want to come out at the other end with a proper process to achieve health and balance. When people start telling us that this is dangerous and you're starving and blah, 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 all the nutrition crap, I feel like telling them off because it's such ignorance, because they're speaking from such ignorance. I don't even want to comment hardly anymore because they have no experience. They don't know. I have no doubt, folks. I have no doubt. I have the worst cases I've been helping that you can think of with no with total confidence. You know, if the person's got to die, blessings. We can't save everybody. And the other thing is, a lot of people who are sick do not want to get healed. I'll tell you one story about Mr. Kesh was working on a woman who her toe was amputated and she was on disability. He was regrowing her toe back plasmatically. Started growing back. What did she do? She stopped him from doing the process because she was going to lose her disability. If you understand what I just told you, this is what we're dealing with when people are ill. They're telling you they want to get better. Subconsciously, most people don't. And that's why they go from one doctor to another doctor, because the doctors can't help you. And they, you know, it's all a show for whoever it has to be for, you know, to grab attention, whatever. Folks, emotion, seed of all disease. I'm no better off than any of you guys. I got more work than all of you put together to do on myself. And I'm continuing doing it. You know, I had a real emotional challenge after I almost killed myself on the high-fat raw vegan because I was doing it to advance my health. And I believed it so much, fell into the ignorant Luciferic intellect bullcrap that I got blinded by it. And I stayed in there for almost 3 years before it killed me. Because I believed in that bullcrap science. I fell in the trap. I'm no different than anybody else. What woke me up was I had a horrific fungus infection. I lost all my weight in 1 month. And then I was watching some Dr. Morse videos. And the light ignited in me. I go, I know this stuff. What the frick am I doing? And that day, I made the change going back to fruits, which I was doing, and I knew it, and the herbs, and you know, when I was raw, I was eating mainly fruit and salads, and most of my salads were all sprouts I grew with ocean water. I didn't buy many greens, just a variety bit, but I used to grow most of my own sprouts, all with ocean water. And in the summer, I'd eat out of my garden, all with ocean water grown. When you taste food grown with ocean water, you won't want to eat anything else. It's night and day comparison. The smell, the aromas, the flavors, it's the strength of it. It's all different. It's different. It's a whole different process when you're using ocean water. This ocean water is in plasmatic state as well. That's why it holds the 90 minerals in a perfect ratio exactly. It doesn't matter where you go in all different oceans and seas. That ratio is identical, and it's the same as our blood.
I have another question here.
Go ahead.
So is it different when children grow, what they need in terms of food? Just wondering.
Only if you put your belief system into them. It's your belief system into the child that's going to affect them. If your belief system is one of a breatharianism, let's give it that word, your children will be breatharianism.
There are some. Very little food.
If you have that mentality that the child, they gotta eat, maybe even that's it. You have to eat. You've interacted that in their being, in the physicality. So it's all our belief system, and together we can raise our field strength, so we can bring our understanding and our belief system to the point where we will know that you can live without food. The more I fast, the more confidence I get, because I feel amazing when I fast.
The belief system, right?
I feel amazing.
More confident and your belief changes.
When I eat, what do I eat for? I love to eat, but it doesn't do it for me. But the belief system is not there to stay without food completely for me yet. So I do a lot of fasting, a lot of dry fasting, a lot of master fasting. I do a lot of them. I just keep going back and forth, slowly but surely. One day, maybe, I'll come to a realization where I'm done with food. No more.
Somebody else says that he has noticed or she has noticed in my life that even when I eat too much food, I wouldn't put on weight no matter what. And being very skinny, no matter how many calories or nutrition, and I believe that maybe it's about healing energy holes in the energy body so that you can hold more energy.
Yeah. Who's
Maybe
this?
just like his name is NA. It's not
NA?
relative.
Yeah. Yeah. Your GI tract is completely blocked up, and the no field interaction. So it doesn't matter how much you eat, you can't absorb any of the fields. 108 days will be a good start for you. Doesn't matter how skinny you are. We have a few that started off very skinny. Is Evil one? Evil was one of them. He's not on. And he started putting on weight after he broke his 108 days. It's a challenge to go to concentration camp. If you have fear, the fear is going to eat you. So you need to have the confidence, and you need to have the understanding that going to concentration camp, victim, on master fast, on this type of healing cleanse, is not going to kill you. It's not going to kill you. It's the process. If you're not willing to do whatever it takes, no matter what, no matter how long, master fast is not for you. Move on to something else that you resonate with.
Yeah, somebody's asking, can you talk about the power of 108? That's Scott, right?
Yeah. 108 is a division of 432. 432 is the number of creation. All creation starts from 432. All of it. And there's a videos from that guru, the Indian guru. He has it on 432. It's if you look at the measurements of the diameters of the planets, the distance, and this and that, it's all related to 432. I don't have it all in my memory. I'm not that type of guy who can remember all this stuff. Yeah, Sadhguru. He has a video on 108 and on 432. You can watch them, Sadhguru. I like watching him. He's very, very good. But there's also a website, omega432.com. That explains about 432. 432, like in a musical scale, that's the frequency we want to tune to in music. Right today, the musical standard is A equals 440. It's in dissonance to the human physiology and every living organism. Nothing in nature resonates at 440 hertz. All the animals, so on and so forth, birds, they all resonate and sing and make noises in 432. We do that naturally in the scales of 432. So 108 is a scale of 432. A equals 432. It's the A note. In the music industry standard is A equals 440. Any singer a singer, have them sing something in 440, A440, and then tune down to 432, A432, have them sing the same thing. They will tell you right away, in 440 there's stress in the vocal cords. In 432 there's absolutely no stress. We've done this on many singers, and my sister's an opera singer. So when I did explain it to her, she freaked because when she has to go do a recital or whatever, she has to practice and warm up and everything. So we were playing around with this thing, and she was doing some singing on the 432. She goes, "Oh my God, I don't need to warm up." But it's a distinct difference. You can hear and you can feel when they sing in 432. It's amazing, the difference. Amazing. Like, I don't like listening to music unless it's in 432. It's disturbing. I have a friend of mine who plays in 432. He's in a rock band, popcherry.ca. I was just there yesterday. Max was there. He's been playing in 432 now two years or so. It took him a long time to change. You got to remember, everybody's like this. Long time to fight and to make the band members and everything to the right people playing in 432. Doesn't matter how loud, it doesn't bother you. And they play loud. You feel it in the heart, 432. In 440, you feel it in the head area. I don't know if you guys ever went to a loud rock concert. The next day you feel like you're hungover. That's from the frequency they're playing it. It's dissonance. It's stressing out every cell. When it's 432, and he told me the same thing when he started doing it. He used to play like sometimes 1 or 2 nights, 3 nights in a row, and he'd be wiped. 432, no problem when he wakes up anymore. No problem.
Also, you were saying about the fights.
Oh yeah, I have another friend that I introduced. He's in another band, and he went on tour in China. He was telling me with his girlfriend. She's a singer, and they were doing tests, and they found that in 432 they were able to do their singing every night, 7 days a week, no problem. In 440, they said 3, 4, 5 nights max, and they were burnt out completely, burnt out. Anyway, he's in the eastern Toronto here, and they play. And at one time, he told me the story. They go play at this bar that has fights. Every time a band plays, they have a fight. People in the bar, they fight. It's an aggressive atmosphere. They went the first time to play 432, no fights. They went there another time to play in 432, no fights. We've seen this when we were doing the analysis ourselves. Me and a few of us were doing this to see the body language of people in the audience in 432. It's much more relaxed and loving. You can see that distinct difference from 440 to 432. So I would highly recommend you listen to all your music in 432. There's programs you can, one for Windows, it's called FooBar 2000. You can put a plug-in, whatever they call it, and you can play all your music that's not 432, not 432 in 432 in real time if you play it in that player, FooBar 2000. There's other ones that you can do that you'd have to change the whole song, but I like that one because in real time you can change it.
Robert's asking, what is it called?
Foo, F-O-O bar, B-A-R, 2000. There's also one for Android phone. It's called 432, I believe.
It's an app.
An app. I don't listen to music on here, but I have the app on here. It's got these symbols. I think it's called 432 app. I don't even know. It doesn't say. Yeah, I think it's called 432. I believe they have one for Apple phones as well.
Robert is also asking, he wants to understand the difference between energy and what we are made of.
We are energy. We are plasma. I don't really follow the question. The matter state is the lowest field strength of plasma. When it goes into the low realms, matter is formed, and we're created in that sense. The higher strengths are non-matter, and the soul is the highest because it's pure love. So all creation comes from the love. And creation cannot happen without any love. It's impossibility. And how does that happen? It happens through an intent and emotion of these entities, these spirits, or these souls, whatever you want to call them. There's something, interaction happening, and then life is created. So that's how all life is created, even in the animal kingdom and so on and so forth, the insects, whatever. There's entities that are creating these because they're creators. They're creators. So we are energy. We're pure energy. Everything's energy. You can't. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed. So that's why cooking, killing it, that people say it's killing it, they have a lack of understanding. We're transforming it and we're bringing it to higher order. That's why cooked food is so addictive, so tasty. It's kind of satisfying emotionally because it's in a higher order. But the problem with it, is the obstructions it causes. That's the problem. And I've said this before. Making herbal teas, do broths and stuff. Don't use the fibers if you're going to cook. Just make broths. And blend it with some raw vegetables or something. And then you get into the meats, cooked meats, and then you have even more problems. The dairies, even heavier, lower, strengths of matter. And these are the issues. If we use the energies of these foods, even when cooking, we'll be fine. Just like we make our cooked teas, like everybody else, and they're telling us raw is law. Why is raw is law and you're using cooked tea?
Ashton is gonna have a question.
Yeah, a few more minutes. Any more questions?
Yeah, I have one. You hear me?
Yeah, who's speaking?
It's
Roland.
Yes, hello, Gino.
Hi.
I have written down a question here. It's pretty long, actually. I read that some people have some problem with the eating after breaking the fast. Why do you think it's so hard for them to eat slowly and not gain weight fast? And how could we prevent them from feeling those feelings?
Number one, we need to write down our goals clearly of what we want to accomplish in the fast, and we need a set of goals after the fast of what we want to accomplish and achieve. You got to write them down. Be clear. Details. Number two, you need to practice breath work. So I don't advocate 3 meals a day. 1 or 2 meals a day, if you're eating, it should be your maximum. 1 or 2 meals. The rest you need to be dry fasting, because dry fasting needs to be part of your life, even when you're eating. So focus on, whatever times or whatever, if you wait to eat, if you get in the habit of waiting to eat only when you're really hungry, it won't be every day. Once you clean out your body. This happens over time. You'll notice you won't be hungry if you really listen. Hunger doesn't come from the stomach, folks. It's not that. It's a different sensation in the throat area, true hunger. And on massive fast, you won't feel hungry. I wonder why. Because we're taking it feels. So, learn to do breath work at the times before you eat. Practicing. Movement. Keep busy. Set your intentions. It's a struggle because, as I keep saying, and it's a challenge, emotion is seed of all disease.
It's the emotions big time.
Emotion trumps all. And the seed, the root cause of the physicality of our ailments is in our GI tract, which is stems out through our physicality to give us the physical problems. But the actual seed gets planted somewhere in the mind, who knows when, how many years, it gets planted, and it's in there. And this is where you see people going through a lot of emotions on these fasts. And a lot of people, they can't balance them out, even after 108 days. So
It's after eating.
yeah, but so after you break your 108 days, you haven't settled those emotions, which probably most of us can't in 108 days. We have to be prepared. We have to know. We know what I mean? We have to plan. We can't just, oh, okay, I'm going to break it. Plan it out. That's going to help. So anytime you plan something, you write it down, it's going to help. And the only thing that's going to give us a better understanding is doing it over and over and over again, meaning you break your fast, and if you end up eating crap, you're going to pay the price, and you're going to feel it, and you're going to know. That's going to be a learning experience. Hopefully, you don't go for the worst stuff, because there's better choices to cheat than there. You know what I mean? When you start getting into the grains and if you get into the dairy and stuff, breaking a fast would be really bad news. The meats.
Much easier to start with a clean diet already.
Yeah.
So that when you overeat, at least you overeat.
There's no specific answer we can give everybody because we're talking about emotions. That's the key player. The key player that most of us have not recognized and understand that's where it starts. And that's where it ends. So we need to really, really embrace these emotions. You're going to see, all of you, when you break your fast, you're not going to be hungry. I'm telling you. Everybody went through the same.
No food is going to sense.
You eat,
no food is
and you're going to want to eat. Even though you're full, you're going to want to keep eating. and you're going to want to keep eating, and you're going to want to keep eating. There's something going on that you can't satisfy. It's not, that's because what we're saying, food is an illusion to satisfy the physicality. It's for the emotion. And because the food really can't settle the emotion, you keep eating and eating because there's that empty space now because you came out for a long fast with no food. And now that you have tasted, you went back, your subconscious is going, I'm starving, go fucking eat. Go eat. I'm starving. Because you've been around in society with people telling you, what are you doing to yourself? Look at all the weight you lost. It's all built up in there. So if you don't have these plans clearly, you're going to fail. You're going to fail. So it's going to happen to all of us.
Yeah, many people are able to, to deal with it much better than others. So it's different for different people. Some people are able to, hold themselves, everybody feels unsatisfied after the fast, no matter what they eat. This is common, I would say, to everybody. Nothing is enough. Nothing is satisfying enough.
It's because food's an illusion.
But
You feel so much better on the master fast, mentally and emotionally. Once you've cleaned out all the crap, everything's clear. The biggest challenge is believing that we can thrive on it and not go back to food. That's the biggest challenge for most of us, including myself. I'm not there yet. So you're going to have to decide yourself where you want to be at. But doing the master fast is going to show you, and it's going to teach you. It's going to teach you that food's an illusion. Believe me or not.
And when you overeat, your body will scream at you.
Yeah. When you eat the wrong things, the next morning, your body's going to talk to you. And if you're not listening, you're going to do it again and again because I talked about this before. The word love has been abused for so long, we don't know what it is anymore. People are going into this S&M thing, pain and this and all kinds of stuff, because they want to feel something. They don't know what the feeling of love is. And that's the problem. That's the problem. We want to get that feel of that love, the true love, but we don't know what the real meaning is because we don't feel it anymore. Look at everybody. Everybody's against everybody. Everybody's fighting each other. Everybody's suing each other. Everybody's killing each other. Everybody's stealing from each other. Where's the love? We don't know what it is. We want that love. And that's why I keep saying, keep the plasma love flowing. We make a new word, new meaning. Because the old one has been abused too long. And English is such a corrupted language. There's other languages, they got many meanings, different words for love. But this is a big problem. We don't know what that feeling. We're empty. We're missing that feeling, and we keep looking out. We keep looking out. You're not going to find anything. You can go all over the planet 100 times. You're not going to find it. You got to go within. When you go within, you learn to go within, and you can stay balanced, and you can be happy in a 2, 3, 4 square foot area. You can be in bliss. You're going to start getting balanced out. You're going to stop looking out because you're not going to find anything. And that's the food. You're looking to find something to bring you balance when all you have to do is go within. And that's what we're doing in dry fasting. And what happens? People's bodies heal. We're on these master fasts, the nails get stronger, everything's spine straightened out, colon gets clean, stronger, everything gets better. We're not doing anything. We're not doing anything. Like, how much more simple do we want it? It's so simple. So this is the thing. We don't have an exact answer, but working with GANS material. See, zinc oxide is for emotion. You gotta collect amino acids to put the connectivity to man. The amino acids that you collect when you're doing the GANS materials is important. And you'll see out of air and salt water, you create amino acids, fat. And then people tell you, you gotta have so much fat in you. And so that, bullcrap. Bullcrap. You can make it out of thin air. You see what? And what's running through our blood? Yeah. What's running through our blood? Ocean water. What are we breathing in? We got the two ingredients to create anything. Anything. Don't believe me? Go believe in the textbooks about nutrition and stuff. Doesn't matter to me. I'm just trying to open up your mind into a different realm that we haven't been taught. And we're adding to the knowledge of all the bull crap because it's all bull crap. So you can choose. Stay in the bull crap, throw away your blinders, and get into the new realm as vast as the stars. And we keep adding to the knowledge and adding to the knowledge and adding to the knowledge. You know, I want to see instant healing, and we're getting there.
Tips for low libido on the masterclass.
Forget about a libido. What do you want to be doing that for? It just takes from you.
Yeah, the way.
Have her do master fast. Libido, yeah, it'll go down for some people. And for good reason. It's designed for procreation. That's why you don't feel it. It's only there for procreation. Now, everybody can believe whatever they want, but when you start getting back into the foods, you're going to see which foods are going to give you libido. And they're going to be loud and clear. You start getting into the heavier stuff like nuts and seeds, you're going to be horny. You know, if you get into the meats or whatever, it's the heavier foods, the fats, nuts, seeds, proteins, those heavier things. As they say, if you eat the seed, you go back to seed. Those are going to give you those sensations. So when you're on master fast, you're not into that thing, you won't feel any of that. And if you feel you're missing something, master fast is not for you. Because everything is within. We don't need to go out without. Yes, you got a wife and all that, but there's many other ways to balance each other out without having physical intercourse or whatever.
But eventually, when the body's healed, will be.
The libido, yeah. Once you've done a long fast and you start eating again, you're gonna perform like you've never performed in every which way. You know, I'm like a teenager, so I'm 52.
But eventually, even if you stay on the master fast, wouldn't the body like become complete and?
Probably would. If you need to do it, yeah, I can't see. It takes a long time to balance out a body. For example, if you want to live on master fast and forever, I don't know how long it would take. We'd all be different. Could it be a year, 2 years before you find your balance? I don't know. I don't have the answer because nobody's done it yet. Marion would probably be the first because he's doing it.
Not planning to eat.
And yeah, he's not planning to eat, but you never know. So we'll find out as the time goes on. In space, there's no intercourse, no physical intercourse. It's all done plasmatically to create life. You can create another soul with two entities. Plasmatically, you can call it immaculate conception. That's the way it was done, through plasma. There's no intercourse necessary. And the love is greater than anything you can ever feel in the physical realm because we're at the low field strength. Up there, everything's way better. You won't want to come back when you go there. This is where we need to put our focus. All these low matter sensations and feelings that we're after, that we think we believe we need, they're good. We're here to experience and enjoy. But look beyond the matter state when you're doing this stuff because the matter is so limited. And it's what's enslaved us. Because there's the few people that run this planet that have this knowledge that I'm talking about, plasma, and that's how they've enslaved humanity. And they're going to pay dearly for it. As Mr. Kesh was explaining to us, there's a place out there like a zoo where all these souls will go. All the leaders, politicians, lawyers, all the scumbags. They're going to be in that prison. It's like a zoo, where people can watch them for what they've done to all the other souls. So we all going to pay for whatever we've done. This is the way it works. So just keep giving, because you don't want to end up in that zoo with those guys.
Isn't that hell?
It's not hell. No such thing as hell. Hell is where we are. The
zoo sounds like.
how did Mr. Kesh put it, Hal? It's a strength lower than matter state. That's your hell. This is pedophile stuff and everything. That's hell. Like, come on, like, what kind of mentality would want to interfere on a child? How I can't comprehend that. I can't comprehend it. I get nervous when I hear that stuff. I get nervous. I get nervous. I can't tolerate pedophiles now. I can't. How do we balance out somebody like that? We put a continuous enema for 9 years. I don't know.
I have a question. I have a question, Gino.
Yeah.
And
who's speaking?
Roland.
Roland, okay.
Since there are well known that many emotions are stored in the liver, do you think that an enlarged liver could affect our eating after the fast?
Well, every organ has an emotion, and kidneys have their own free will. And this is the problem with people filtering. I wrote that thing on the kidney prayer.
Yeah.
The kidneys have free will, and they have their own emotion, and all the other organs have their own emotion. So we need to learn to talk to our organs and glands and thank them for their job and so on and so forth, and be grateful because they're living entities. Separate, but they're a part of us, just like we're all separate, but we're all part of one. So, once you've done, I don't know how long you're planning on going, but 108 days is a very good start.
I'm planning on 108 days, but I'm not. I'm gonna push it so far I can, but with my eating habits until today. It's like 3 times other people, so
you would be, yeah.
I'm aiming for 108 days, but
At least 40
I'm
days.
not.
At least
I'm not. Yeah, of course. But I'm aiming for. I want to do 108, but I mean, we'll see what happens in 30 days, 40 days. We'll see what happens. If I can go, I go. It's no problem. But if something happens along the way, I have to take it easy.
Yeah, one day at a time, Roland. The only time we got is now.
Yeah.
So just think about what I've said. Write down your goals. Everybody should have goals written down clearly.
They are on the wall. That's they are everywhere. So they are on my laptop. So
just understand these emotions are going to come up. 99.9% they're going to come up.
Yeah.
Be ready. Have an understanding of what's going on. The mind's going to be playing tricks. That's all it is. And kind of will yourself to stay in that balance and only have the 1 or 2 meals a day. And then continue to dry, your daily or weekly, that'll be your resets. So because everybody's going to overeat at some point. So you overeat, you go back to the dry. Because the dry resets you. Like clockwork, it resets. As long as you don't go into the crap, even the dries are not going to help you. Been there, done that. So you got to eat clean. Most people can handle, breaking it with fruit, some green juices. Some people maybe just want to stay on green juices a little bit. Maybe you want to do both. Some people can break it with some fruit, maybe in a week, start eating some salads, but chew very, very, very well. There's many ways to break the fast, or you continue with the Master Fast Hybrid. Same thing, except you have 1 meal at the end of the day. That's another option, because this juice, it really settles the hunger. And most people that have went through it, they say the same thing. I'm not hungry, but I want to chew something.
But no, like really, like physically, you will be full on this juice. Have you done it? Have you done a day on the juice? You will be full from day one on the juice.
You don't get hungry on the
Like,
juice.
it's crazy.
If you feel anything in the stomach, it's not hungry. It's not hungry. And as soon as the bowels start clearing out, those pains, those sensations will go away, and you don't get hungry no more. You just won't be hungry. It comes and goes, sensations, but it's all because the bowels are moving and turning, and all the parasites are hungry, and so on and so forth. But as it starts clearing, you don't get hungry.
Yeah,
You just
at the
don't.
beginning, drink up to 3 liters. So
Whatever,
if you feel like you really want more,
Yeah,
more,
if you feel kind of, you think you're hungry, a teaspoon of honey, maple syrup if you're vegan. Maple syrup, folks, maple syrup. So it's for the vegans that have problems with honey. Honey is a very high GAN state. The bees transform it through their own digestive tract. They eat it and they regurgitate it. That's what honey is. It's in a very high state of plasmatically, GAN state. Maple syrup. What is maple syrup, folks? It's tree sap cooked to death. I've seen maple syrup stop people with severe coughs. Just maple syrup. It's excellent. If you know anybody who coughs, give them pure maple syrup. It really works. It's in a high GAN state because we've brought it to higher order through the cooking process. And it's a lot of cooking. The more you cook it down, the stronger the fields get up to a point. So maple syrup is a beautiful food. And I think I've introduced on Mark Gordon's, the new super hybrid, the cooked, full version cooked. With, instead of eating fruit for the hybrid meal, or and a salad or a raw soup, we eat a jar or half a jar of Concord grape jam, or what do you call it? The berries, any dark fruits, or you can actually get your own fruit, mash it all up and cook it and eat it. This is the super hybrid, I call it, because we're working in the higher orders all the way through as we are on Master Fast. It works. I've tried it already, experimented. And I'd like to see people get on it, experiment with it, and get feedback because it's powerful. So if we have a child that needs to eat because of certain things in our society, we don't want to fast them. So we put them on the hybrids, and we put them on the super hybrid. We've had children with great successes just on the hybrid, folks, you know, with the herbs and the one meal. Some of them put them on 2 meals because the parents are just not there. They think they need to feed them twice. They don't. So, yeah, it would be good for people to experiment with the hybrid, super hybrid, master fast, full on, whatever. All is good. We keep expanding. We keep expanding. And as far as the lemon goes, try cooking the lemon as well. 9 minutes. Boil it.
It's more work.
Yeah, it's more work. If you want to juice a whole bunch at once, you boil it, put it in a bottle, keep it in the fridge so it stays. You can freeze it.
You can buy it as well, right? You can buy juice.
Yeah, you can buy it already juiced. You can put it in ice cube trays if you want to juice a whole bunch of lemons. But we don't need a lot of lemon. It's more or less for taste. And we really don't want to go more than 2-3 lemons per liter quart because you're taking away from the grape juice, in my opinion. Even if the lemon's cooked, I don't believe it'll be as strong as the dark fruit. I don't believe so. People may want to test it, but I don't believe it will be because the dark matter, the darker stuff has more energies. Just like we have more energy fields at night, always the dark things in nature. And according to nutrition, the berries and so on, they have more bioflavonoids and all this and that and all the other bullshit. Dark stuff. All the dark fruit, they always say more nutrition. Antioxidants and all the other bull crap that means nothing.
Okay, so ask me any more questions?
Are we done?
Yeah, I have one more. I have a lot of questions, but I love to learn stuff. So, what are your thoughts about significant bile flow, and how do you think that could help master fasters?
Bile, as liver bile?
Yep.
You have a lot of bile movement?
No, no. I just want to know your thoughts about a significant bile flow from the liver to down to the intestines.
One of
So,
the signs when your body is cleansing, your liver releases bile. When you do liver detox, whatever, you take liver herbs, you see bile in your stool as well. You see it's more yellowish.
When
It's bile.
when I started on raw foods and started going more into colonics and stuff, I had all kinds of bile and ammonia coming out of my liver. You can see it. You can see it. Once you stay clean, you're not going to see that much anymore. But on Master Fast, we've had people release stones, folks. The liver flushes are outdated. You don't need to do any of that stuff and put your liver through all that stress anymore. Master Fast will dissolve stones.
Yeah, I mean,
It-
your
it'll-
body heals itself
Yeah.
if you give it the chance.
The Master Fast will help you. From what I found in myself, I actually experimented on my long Master Fast that I did a liver flush in the middle. Oh boy, what a mistake that was.
Same here.
I wanted to see what happens because I was doing liver flushes almost pretty much every year, every spring as maintenance. And I wasn't getting much more stones, especially after I went raw. You get very few gravel. But when I did it on the Master Fast, it was a horrific feeling,
Too much oil. Yeah.
that pressure on the liver. And I got no stones out. No stones.
It's a shock because we're not having
And
any fats.
it took me a good week to recover. I don't recommend anybody do any liver flushes. Never on the Master Fast.
Especially when you're fasting.
If you want to do one before, okay. After, don't do them. No, after you do Master Fast, don't do it because you don't need it.
but I have this, and how do you think this bile flow that I'm talking about I think that it could help master fasters who have a problem breaking the fast because they maybe eat too much, because this bile, if it flows from the liver to the intestines, it kills off bad bacteria. And if it kills off bad bacteria, then you don't feel that hungry.
Bile is used in the digestive process in the small intestine.
It helps the.
You have to make bile.
It does neutralize. Actually, it
alkalizes. It alkalizes the
chine.
chine. It turns it to chine, or whatever they call it. I'm not a medic guy.
But you know what? It's important. Like we're not smarter than the body. You want to keep this in mind always. No matter how much science you study, you cannot be smarter than the body. The body knows exactly how to use itself.
You guys know she's a scientist, master's in science.
What?
Now
No, but that I see so many people, because I have this flush group. So I see so many people that have so enlarged liver. So they have very, very enlarged liver. So
yeah, but it's not from fasting.
Excuse me?
It's from their diet.
Yeah, it's from the diet. Obviously, it's from the diet, but
Okay. And then, listen, they're trying to correct the liver being plugged up through flushes, which is treatment-based thinking. Yeah, you can flush some stones out, but have you solved the problem? No.
She's not talking about that. She's talking about like causing the problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm going at. You're not solving the problem by flushing the liver. Even if you completely flush out all the liver, interstitial, that liver is plugged up. That's where the problem is at. And how are you going to clean interstitial? You got to fast. You got to fast, and we use herbs. So by fasting, everything is going to go back to where it's supposed to be.
It's balance and imbalance. This is how you want to look at it. Don't complicate things. It's so simple.
If you feel extra problems on the liver area, you get some castor oil and a cloth, flannel cloth or cotton, and you do castor oil packs 3 days on your liver, 3 days off. There's a video on how to do them, Edward Casey video. He's the one who advocated castor oil packs, and he advocated Concord grape juice, Welch's grape juice. It's over 100 years ago, folks. He knew.
So yeah, balance and imbalance. Don't
yeah,
we don't know too much. We cannot know everything. Trust me.
Body sees only balance or imbalance. All those names that the fairy tale names that medical mafia made up, that's all it is. Body doesn't recognize any of those because in the body, it's all working on fields and obstructions. Remove the obstructions, fields are able to interact properly, dance in elegance, and it restores your body magically. Because it's magic when you go to a doctor and you got no more cancer tumor, right, Linda? Magic to them. They don't know how. They scratching their heads. It's impossible. How can that happen?
And Gino.
It's, folks, you gotta get rid of the mind. Get yourself a box, put mind on it, open it, put the mind in there, close it. It won't go away. It'll stay there. Believe me. You really, it's so simple, folks. You don't need to have thought process. You really don't. It's great to understand and learn. That's why I'm here answering every weekend as best I can. I'm limited in what I know. I can only teach you what I know.
But like you said this earlier today, it's so simple that it's unbelievable. Like, it's so simple.
We get out of the way for a long time, no digestion. We support with herbs, and we dry fast. How much easier is that?
And you feel amazing.
The pudding,
This is like really, you feel better than when you eat.
the plasma pudding is helping absorb all the crap the fast has loosened up. The fast. And it's vital, and it's important, and it's crucial part of the system. All the bullcrap naysayers, is that all pudding coming out? I'm so tired of hearing that. I'm going to start erasing those posts because I've talked about it so much, and the ignorance, it's so vast. You know, yes, what goes in is going to come out. But it's there for a reason, a vital and important reason. And if you don't take it, you can get in trouble, folks. You can get in trouble. It's just so cheap insurance. And you're going to have a much better, efficient fast using all the tools, because that's what Master Fast is. You don't use any of the tools, it's not Master Fast. I don't want to support people who don't want to do the whole system. When I start hearing it's expensive and all that, it's another thing that I just shake my head. It costs me $10 a day average, full on, tons of herbs. And the days are dry fasting, they're free. They're free. That's why I say to you guys, I laugh at how much money I spend on food. It's insignificant anymore. It's nothing. It's nothing.
Yeah, you
to go buy a fresh durian once in a while now, spend $40-50. Who cares? That's, you know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It just we need to trust, folks. We need to trust in the universe and nature's operating table. We're on that table when we're fasting, and we're not lying down. We're moving around because the universe is always in motion. Stagnation is disease. Stagnation is disease. Universe is always in motion. Nobody teaches that you need to be moving when you're healing. Only I do. I haven't heard anybody do that. I've listened to countless so-called people in the health and natural healing movement. I've never heard anybody advocate movement on a fast. They advocate the opposite. I'm telling you guys, you got to move. And when you're dry fasting, you better move because you're going to be in trouble if you don't move. And it's because their lack of understanding. And the new science shows us the lymph is the energy system. And that's why I'm telling you guys you have to move. And why do I know that? Because I've put it to the test. Dry fasting not moving and dry fasting moving. It's like night and day. When you're not moving, you feel like you're going to die because your energy system has no movement. It's stagnant. And when you're fasting, everything kind of contracts. So it's even more difficult to get it to move. So that's why you have to move. You got to force. You got to breathe. And then you're going to see the energy come up on a dry fast. You might feel like you're dying 1 second, and then you start forcing yourself to move and breathe, and bang, go for a bike ride, go for a walk, do some yoga. You know, it may not be anything crazy, but you got to move. And then the magic happens.
I have one more question.
Yes.
You know, if you like, for me, it's 20 hours is okay for dry fast now. But if you're gonna push it, how much do you recommend? How many hours do you recommend you push it?
Have you been eating raw foods for a couple of years?
Yes, 3 years, about 3 years.
Okay. And you want to push 20 hours? Have you been dry fasting at all in your life?
I've done dry fasting maybe 7 times or something like that.
So you haven't been practicing it.
Not regularly, but I don't eat after 6, and so I dry fast every day
How long?
at minimum 12 hours.
Okay, that's good. I don't suggest you, Roland, you push to 20 hours on Master Fast. Yeah. You're used to 12, 13, 14. Stay at that for a bit. Stay at that for a few weeks. See how you feel. Because I've seen people, they're pushing to 18, 20 hours, and they can't finish their goal of the long Master Fast. It's too intense. You're digging too deep. The body's in too much of a dehydrated state. It can't turn around. It's too much. It's too much. It's overwhelming. Slow, steady wins the race. We have a range.
When should I reach 20 hours?
You got to go by feel. It's a little bit at a time.
You don't have to. You really don't have to.
Yeah, on the Master Fast, you can stay on 14 hours. That's good. Just 14.
Like maybe 15.
You can do a 15, 16. You can do one day at 20. Then go back to 12, 13, 14. Go by feel. Don't dry yourself out too much.
108 days is kind of pushing.
Yeah, because 4-hour window, to drink, it's small. And you don't want to be drinking. That's not Master Fast. You're sipping. You see what I'm doing. I'm just sipping. That's all you want to be doing in Master Fast. You don't want to be guzzling, folks. No. That's how you're doing. And a 4-hour window is a small window. When I did my long one, I was doing 16, 18 hours. I did a few of the 20 hours. I was doing, back then I was doing 36 hours a week. And then I would do my 3 days every month, right? And I did, I don't remember if I did a 7-day.
No, you did 5 days. I think it's.
I ended a 5-day. But I don't remember if I did a 7-day in there or before. Anyway, I ended it with a 5-day, and that was tough. Very tough. I ended the last 5 days with a dry fast. It was very tough. It took a lot out of me. So, you don't want to be pushing yourself crazy. You want to be always pushing beyond your comfort zones a little bit every time. So this time you're feeling maybe a weirdness in your chest and everything. Push that extra little bit. Even with that discomfort, push a little bit. You have to trust. You have to trust. You have to trust. And then, and then if it's too much, you break it. So the next time you do it, you get that uncomfort. You'll recognize it, and you'll be able to go a bit more.
More confident.
Because you understand what's happening. So this is how we do it. We don't try and do it 5-7 days. For what? What do you got to prove? You want to hurt yourself? No. So it's slow, steady, finishes the race. We don't want to win. We don't want to win.
And
we want to finish.
Yeah, if you can, very important. This is where the challenge is. When you start eating, are you able to continue 20-hour dry fast even with food? That's gonna be, that's the big question. Maybe practice that after the fast. When you start eating, practice that. That's where the challenge is. It's not during the fast. The fast, stay comfortable sometimes with the dry fast to push yourself.
At the end of every week, we recommend a 24-hour, right? And you can start pushing that a little bit more after a few weeks to 36. See how that feels. But leave your dailies normal. 12, 14 hours, 16 you can do once in a while. And then at the end of the month, we push for a 3-day. It's part of the program. Will everybody make it? No, but you push for that 3 days once a month. And this is what we do. And if we get into a season change, you may want to try to a 5-day. Depends on your toxic level. Some people can do dry fasting pretty simple the first time, and some people can't. Everybody, we're all different. So we always push beyond comfort zone. We don't want to be a hero, and be careful. Be careful, because people are going to hurt themselves being stupid. It's the way it is.
On the massive fast, most of the time you would be comfortable. Just when you do maybe the 3-day dry fast that's new to you or something, you know, that would be a little bit uncomfortable. But that's okay for a day, uncomfortable. And then the next day you start hydrating, you get your comfort back, you know? That's how you want. You don't want to push too much. You don't want to be uncomfortable the whole time and suffer for like weeks feeling dehydrated.
I'm thinking about, I love lemons, and if it's okay to have more lemon in the, is it less effective to do the enemas with more lemon than?
You start going more lemons, you're going to get less effect, of course.
3 per liter maximum, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it down to 2, because I've seen you bring up the lemon quantity, the power of cleaning goes down. Believe it or not, the lemon doesn't have the power that they're telling us it has, because if most of us using it raw. If we cook it, I haven't experimented with a lot of cooked lemon. If somebody wants to experiment that route, they can, but I don't believe it's going to have the power of the dark stuff. Who was it that shared with us? Was it Anna? She did the cooked watermelon. She worked great. She had asked me prior to starting, can I try watermelon? Sure, boil it 9 minutes. She juiced it and boiled it. Worked great. She said she liked it better. She said it tasted like candy, and it was amazing. I haven't tried watermelon. So,
but the effectiveness, how much would you recommend? Because I want the effectiveness to be...
For 1 liter or a quart, 1 to 3 lemons max. If you use less, you can just put a few drops of lemon. It's enough.
Yeah, okay.
It's just to activate. That's all it does.
And does it have to be raw?
No, I just was saying I've tried to cook, but I haven't tried a whole bunch of lemon cooked. You can add a cook. You can cook the lemon juice. I just explained it before. Put it in a tray, boil a whole bunch. We're experimenting all different levels. There's not only grape we can use so many fruits. I'm sure there's fruit on every part of the planet that we can use for master fast. We just got to boil it, bring it to high order. There's so many. Artie used guava. She said it worked great. She was juicing her guava. Watermelon. So we know watermelon works. We know pomegranate works. Pomegranate is a little tougher for some people to drink. Cranberry, it's to drink it on its own, it's tough. If you mix it, it's okay. Black cherry works. Tart cherry. What else is there? A lot of blueberry, the dark berries, the different grapes. They don't have to be Concord. Any good dark, good quality. The older the strains, the more power, I would believe. The darker. There's so many fruits, guys. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we can juice dates. I don't know. There's so many.
Not much juice in them, though.
No, I know. But I can assure you, if somebody couldn't get grapes or anything, and they had raisins, you can make a boil. You can boil the raisins and use that, and it will work. I can assure you.
Dates?
I can assure you. It'll work. You have to understand what you're doing. It's not rocket science, guys. It's simple. What we're doing we're using the energies in higher order. That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing. Let everybody mock me. I don't give a shit anymore, because the miracles are there, and that's why I'm here. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. So let people say whatever they want. They just don't have the understanding, and they want to refuse and believe that they're correct, which is okay. We don't care if we're correct or not. We want results, and that's what we're showing. The people will tell you by their results if it works. You know, going to,
Hello, Gina.
Yep.
I heard you talk about watermelon and cooking the watermelon.
Mhm.
How at what temperature would we have to cook the watermelon?
Just to boil, right?
Rolling boil, 9 minutes.
9 minutes.
Boiling.
Boil for
Okay.
9 minutes.
Magic 9. 9 is the
All
volume.
right, very well, man. Thank you.
Yeah. It's more work, but there's no excuses. We as more people try different things, we need more on our board of what's available and what can be used that people actually experimented with, so we know for sure. I know a lot of things will work, but we need people to experiment with it. So then we say, yeah, okay, you don't have this, and that. Okay, you got that. Okay, use that. This is what we're trying to do. That's why
I
we're
tried
trying to
with the grapefruit, and I did notice that I was hungry. It wasn't like with the grape juice. I tried the grapefruit juice, and it wasn't the same effect as with the grape. I was hungrier. It was just not satisfying enough.
What do you mean? You had store-bought grapefruit?
Yes, and I tried it instead of the grape.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. Is if you want to try, somebody want to try with all lemons, somebody was mentioning, it's not going to have the power of the dark. I can't see it. I may be wrong if somebody wants to experiment, because everybody knows the Master Cleanse, lemons, maple syrup, cayenne. It's got no power, man. I know it's raw. If we cooked it, maybe it would bring it up a notch because the maple syrup's cooked. So you might have a better field interaction, but
Beets might work.
it may, but it's tough.
Oh, yeah, beet juice.
If you eat a lot of beet juice,
Beet juice,
you're gonna feel your kidneys.
People throw up liver.
Yeah, you're gonna feel your kidneys. One time I did a whole bunch of beets, and I was knocked out. I had to sleep. It was powerful. It's if you boil it, I don't know, man. We can experiment. We need people willing to experiment. But you'll know.
Don't try beets. Yeah.
You'll know if you start drinking for about a week. Should be enough to know if the fruit works after you've cooked it. But the issue is, so many of us have limited time. We're working this and that. Who wants a juice? If we have to, okay. But who wants a juice when you can just go buy it? So cheap. So cheap. It's beautiful, man. It makes it easy for everybody.
Today I was thinking about it, like raw food, eating raw food versus drinking Concord grape juice that is cooked. I mean, come on, guys. There's no comparison. There's no comparison in terms of how you feel, okay?
How many?
Food obstructs you, even when it's raw, okay?
I'll food obstructs.
Compared to the Concord grape juice.
Fruit is the least obstructive because to some degree, our physicality is attached to frugivorism, but that's a lie because we're not frugivores. We're divine immortal beings, a pure plasma love essence. We're not frugivores. If you want to remain in matter, you're a frugivore. We're beyond that, guys. We're using plasma. That's why we kill it and bring it to higher order. Has anybody done any long raw juice fasts?
I'm done. 100 days.
Yeah, I've done lots. But has anybody else done any long raw juice fasts?
For 14 days. That I don't know if that's long, but
yeah. Of what kind of juice?
It was different. It was carrot, celery, cucumber, and apples.
Yeah. Yeah, not much power in that. You'll clean up a little bit and stuff, but they don't have power. You plateau very quick on the. I did a 60-day green juice fast once. I wasn't happy with the results. You feel okay, but It's
It's not like the message.
it's you're not going to get much cleaning happening. Greens are nice because they're cooling. If you're acidic, they're good. Go back on this. Another tool we use when somebody's too acidic and they can't handle the juice. You'll hear a few people say, "Oh, the juice is too sweet. I can't drink it anymore." A few days ago it was okay, but all of a sudden they can't drink it anymore. What that means is the juice is getting into the cesspool and stirring it up because it's so strong and they're uncomfortable. And that feeling, attachment, it's just like the first time you drank alcohol and you got drunk and you got hungover and you don't want to ever drink the same alcohol again. That feeling, that's what happens with the Concord grape juice. But if they continue and pass through that, they'll start liking the juice again. It's happened many times on people. So this is the lack of understanding, and they blame, oh, the juice is no good. No, it's your body's full of crap. That's all it is. Because everybody loves grape juice. All kids love grape juice. I don't know anybody who doesn't like grape juice. So you have to have a little bit of an understanding what's going on. Why all of a sudden the taste buds change? Why? The body knows way more than you. And that's what's happening. Plus, we got parasites happening, this, that, and that. They're getting disturbed because they don't like this stuff. They don't like plasma. That's why you see so many people releasing parasites and worms. Yeah, they're taking herbs, but this too, they're going to start coming out. So, we use all the tools, all the stuff that's going to help us, aid us, and keep us safe and balanced and effectiveness. Anything else? Are we done?
Yeah, pretty much done. Yeah.
All right, I've talked enough. I think we'll close it for a night only. Geez, almost 3 hours.
Thank you, Gino.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week. If it's supposed to be, we'll be.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night,
Love you
everybody.
too.
Or day, or wherever you are. I'm off.